Even on a field full of big, strong football players, Will Davis stands out.
All these years of lifting kind of worked out.
Davis leads the Spartans as a senior captain, a strength that extends far beyond any weight room or blocking drill.
He's a kid of integrity, and I think he's influential among his teammates.
I'm in!
Very proud of who he is, what he's doing with his leadership role, and the man that he's becoming.
These days on the practice field may seem routine, but Will had to overcome incredible odds just to be here.
I think he just was persistent and just fought through.
Will has always been a fighter. Even when he was a baby, he would army crawl to chase after the dog and pull the dog's tail.
Will faced his toughest fight at just 18 months old, and until a conversation with his mom this summer, he didn't exactly understand everything that happened to him.
We started talking about it, and she told me stuff like I didn't even know. And especially since now we live in the area where it happened, because originally we had lived in Texas, but now that we live in the same area, it's like it's really hitting, you know? I'm like, oh my gosh.
The Davises took their kids from Texas to Fort Wayne to visit Will's ailing grandfather in December of 2008. During a hotel stay, the little boy developed a cough. Nothing too serious at first, but things got worse at a concerning pace.
As a dad and a football coach, you're like, son, he's fine. He'll tough it up. He's okay. He'll get over this. And just kept getting worse and worse. And my wife was the one that was persistent.
He was my fourth child. I had had children with coughs before. I was a mom of young kids, so I could overreact a little bit, but I knew that I wasn't.
At the initial hospital visit, the staff took an x-ray and sent Will home with his family, not recognizing any serious issues. 2 more days passed, Will's condition worsened, and his mother drove through a winter storm to take her boy back to Lutheran.
They kind of brushed me off, and I sat in the registration booth, and I said, I'm not moving from the seat until you help me find somebody who's going to look at my son.
Upon another evaluation, the staff admitted Will, but even in that environment, he continued to deteriorate. A couple days later, after taking a quick shower and with her husband asleep on the couch, Cara Davis returned to her son's room and saw something shocking, fearing his time had run out.
I walked in, and Will was bloated and blue and had fallen over. And I walked in, I saw that, and I didn't say anything to the kids or my husband, and I walked straight out to the nurse's station. I said, I think my son is dead.
Nurses called a code and rushed Will into surgery.
I think they punctured his lung and took a Coke can or so worth of fluid.
Will survived the procedure, but doctors couldn't make any guarantees about what would happen next.
We don't know if he'll leave, because it was a very serious issue, if he'll leave with breathing help, if he'll have lifelong problems, or if by a miracle of God, he's fine.
In the following days, that little boy had to fight, enduring agony as he battled through the recovery process.
He didn't even want to be held because he was in so much pain from all of the things inside of his body. So I would sit on his bed and try to hold him the best I could. He stopped talking. He would blink once for no and twice for yes.
Eventually, the Davis family did get that miracle. Although difficult weeks of therapy awaited, on New Year's Eve, Will got to go home with his family, and on New Year's Day, he got to spend a proper Christmas with them. On that day, Cara felt ready to take some pictures of her toddler, a meaningful moment for an exhausted mother.
There's no pictures of Will in the hospital because I refuse to ever remember my son that way if he didn't survive.
Here we stand nearly 16 years later, that scarred child, now a leader of young men, fully aware of what he's gone through and eternally grateful.
I was almost dead, you know. It was a miracle. I shouldn't even been alive. I should have been an iron lung. I should have, not been able to play athletics. And to think that I'm playing one of the most brutal sports, running 24/7, always working my lungs, It's like defying the odds.
It's really been an amazing gift from the Lord that we still have our boy, that he's strong, that he's smart enough to stay out of trouble.
We just thank God for every opportunity that we have with our boy. So praise God.
With a heart full of faith and lungs thankfully filled with nothing but air, Will Davis continues to fight on the field, embracing a football future that nearly slipped away all those years ago.